Hello Mass Attacks here, and today I'm going to show you a battle from Clan Wars Renaissance. I'm in BC, British Centurions, and the tank that I'm going to use is obviously the T10. It is the American Tank Destroyer, the T110E3. And as always, before we get into the action, I'll show you my crew and equipment that I've currently got on this tank. My crew on this tank are really good, all onto the 5th skill. The equipment that I use in the special firepower slot is a gun rammer, then I've got a vertical stabilizer and a gun lane drive. I'm also carrying 10 shells of premium APCR, everybody fires gold in Clan Wars, and I'm going to use a directive, and the directive I'm going to use is orderly ammo rack. So I'll show you the tactics before we get into the battle. Here's the mini-map for Ensk. Our starting tactic is we want our object 279 here, then we want our chieftains over here with the object 907 to spot. We want our artillery in the corner here, we want our super heavies just on the corner here, then we want our tank destroyers, our E3s at the back here, and we'll have one here to spot down the tracks.
Time to roll out.
Our sport is the north base on Ensk. We're playing Steel Resistance in this battle. Our leader, our FC, is ice cold and he's playing the artillery so he can oversee the battle and issue our orders. At the beginning of the battle, on a small map like this, it's really dodgy trying to get across these train tracks. As you can see, 2 of us have taken shots because they've managed to spot us. Just pulling back, facing my armour forward. Hopefully if I get another shot I can bounce it. We're going to have to wait till we're not spotted if we want to move, but we might be able to get shots down the train tracks at the enemy. I've tried one blind shot there. 2 of our E3s are getting really bad spawn spots, so they're not going to be able to make it across this train line, so they will be just sitting on the corner near where I am. So I've tried another blind shot down that street. I do want to pull over to the left, get over these train tracks. When you play Clan Wars, especially on this little map, or if you're in a city map, we find the best tank destroyer for the job is definitely the E3 that we're in today. It would be no good for a big open map because the mobility is really poor. 24 top speed going forward, 8 in reverse. But we don't use tank destroyers on open maps, we'll just use fast heavies instead, or mediums. So I've managed to get across the train tracks, and there's a train carriage here, a flat one, that's really good for hiding your lower plate, sit behind. The lower plate is the only weak spot on the front of this tank, that's what makes it so good, especially in cities where you can't get flanked. So far our tactic is working excellent. We're controlling the field, and our chieftains and 907 are spotting the enemy, which allows our artillery to get shots in, wear the hit points down, and we are dug in, the E3s and the super heavies are dug in defending our base because we know that all the enemy are in the city. So while we're digging in at our base and just letting our artillery work from our spots from the Chieftain and the 907, I'll tell you a little bit about this tank. So what makes this so good? The armour is definitely key. On the front of your hull you've got 305mm and only your lower plate is a weak spot. The side of the armour is nothing special at 76mm and 38mm on the rear. You don't have a turret, so that is your armour. So the enemy have pushed up to the top of the city now. They're all mouses, super heavies, lots of hit points, but they do have weak spots, which is the cheeks on the turret. So I'll tell you about the gun on this tank now. It's got a massive 155mm gun, which shooting gold, which I am, which you do in Clan Wars, which is APCR. You have a penetration of 375mm with an alpha damage of 750. With my crew and equipment and the directive I'm using, I've got a reload time of 13.41 seconds, which gives us a DPM of 3,355. I've got an aim time of 2.08 seconds and a dispersion of 0.33. You also get 8 degrees of gun depression with this tank, which is nice for a tank destroyer. So back to the battle. Some of our E3s have pulled back behind us to get a higher vantage point there and some more cover, some more buildings. Our super heavies have joined them. At the moment we're losing by a couple of thousand hit points compared to the enemy, but I'm dug in well behind this train carriage. The slight problem I've got is I don't know if the tanks are behind the wall or behind the building. Would be better if them walls were knocked down for us. Can't see a mouse, he's taking a lot of shots. Can I get him in the cheek? Straight into the cheek or the gun mantlet. Nice shot there. Here's one shot for us now. Our artillery working well still. One of the super heavies has come down to join us. While the enemy's pushing a lot of tanks towards us, we are using this opportunity to push our chieftains down to try and take their E3s out at the base. So I got another good shot into a mouse there, and I did bounce his shot. Just got to stay calm, let the enemy make the mistakes, pulling out trying to take shots, get shots into them. We have lost 3 E3s at the moment from our defending force. Just can't find the shot at the moment, and I'm going to have to be wary that I've only got 3 of these premium shells left. I have just bounced 2 shots, so I'm in a good position. The only problem I've got is them pulling from me left E4. Managed to get a shot in there. The mouse is starting to fire HE at us because he can't get penetrating shots into us. Here's another mouse trying to flank round, so I'm angling my armour towards him, taking another shot of HE. Our 279E and 907s joined the attacking team, and I'm getting a nice shot into a mouse there trying to cross. Just pulling back so the mouse and the E4 can't get beside. Taking another shot of HE. I did dodge the 2 shots from the tank slightly to my left. So can I get a shot into this mouse? Didn't penetrate. Now I'm on to standard shells. I fired all 10 of my APCR premium rounds. Now I'm on AP, which have a penetration of 295mm. So not quite as good, but still effective. Now my armour's standing up well against these APCR premium rounds fired by the mouse and the E4, but I am struggling against the HE shots. Another 2 HE shots and I'll be finished off. Can I get a shot? I can get a shot into the side of that mouse. Moving, trying to bounce his shot, and I did manage to bounce it, and another shot from another mouse. Now we are starting to turn this battle around into our favour, so our super heavies are pushing in now. Gonna try and take the low hit point mouse out. Can I get another shot into him? He's angled too well, especially for standard ammo. Can it get a shot onto his cheeks? Now our tactic that we use, we've got 2 artillery. The enemy haven't brought any artillery. If you can win the field and have your artillery set up in the field, all the enemy tanks that are dug in, you just whittle the hit points down with your artillery. Is that mouse pulling out? He is, and I've managed to take him out. So we haven't had to move from our positions defending the base because they don't have artillery. So if you can dig in, B hold down, they're going to struggle to get in. And now it looks like we've cleared this area. There was an object 140, not sure where he is. Our chieftains are pushing in now. We can get shots in from the top of the train lines. All the enemy that are digging in, we can get them on the side now. And we've pushed into the enemy base and started capping, so the enemy need to move from wherever they dug in to try and reset the cap, and that makes it easier for us to get shots into them. So I've spotted the 140, thought he might be still here, bounced his shot, I didn't get that shot in. So now down at the enemy base, our team is just finishing off the last tanks, down to 3 tanks, one's up here. They shouldn't have any problem doing that. My armor's standing up great against the Object 140. I've bounced all his shots, just trying to keep him lit. And now the three of us that were still defending the base are going to move in. He's the last tank. What our team are going to do, they've started capping. You do get more points if you cap and kill all the enemies, rather than one or the other. So we're going to try and keep him alive. He's down to 3 hit points till we've got roughly about 3 seconds left on the cap, and then we'll take him out and we'll end up with more points for capping and killing all the enemies. So we're just going to toy with him for a bit. Cap is at 10 seconds now. Just getting into position. See who can take the final shot. I've taken a shot and our artillery snuck the shot. It's Ice with the last kill. I'd like to thank you for watching today's battle. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm not going to show you the stats because the stats don't matter. It's a team battle. It only matters if you win or lose. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. There's a little icon in the bottom right hand corner. And if you have any feedback, please could you leave it via the thumbs buttons in the comment section below. Cheers.